Might do another puzzle while I'm here. I don't know, I got itchy fingers right now. Yeah, that's pretty much the response that deserved, honestly. Hey, Tom. Yes? You got the itchy fingers? Sure do. Alright, I'm staying away from you today, then.
He put up his lab coat. That's how you know he's a scientist.
Because he wears the white coat. Did he not watch the Scrubs episode about the responsibility that comes with such a coat?
I certainly didn't, so...
Ah, well.
How does it work? Just like a natural arm.
Let me guess, this guy is going to become Arm Man or something. It must be a new comic I haven't read.
You know what? They're probably not going to do this, but it would be really fucking funny if, based on this technology, there was a stilt man in this universe.
Is that a Marvel villain?
Yes.
Huh.
He has the ability to extendo his legs, and I think his arms, it depends. But Stiltman is lame.
Stop that right now! This is highly sensitive equipment.
And I'm highly sensitive as well.
I'm gonna cry!
Peter Parker.
This motherfucker. I love this iteration of Norman Osborn.
Yeah, I mean, the way they wrote him in this game, they're clearly setting up for a lot of stuff, and he clearly is intended to reflect real life concerns at the moment. But he's basically the true villain of this game, even though he doesn't do what we are all expecting him to do. His machinations are kind of what cause everything to start rolling, but with the way he acts towards Otto, I can completely empathize with Otto, how Norma's basically being a fucking prick. And I would hate him too, you know?
The thing is, he's an asshole, but he's also normal and kind of okay at the same time, if that makes any sense. Like, he's a shrewd businessman, he's manipulative, he can be a right cunt, especially to people like Otto who refuse his help and whatnot, but he's also genuinely good to Peter and to Harry and so on. And it's weird, this is like one of the continuities of recent memory where it seems like Norman and Harry have a good relationship.
Hey, Peter.
We'll find out more about Harry, as we go along, and it is really going to play with the sequel of this game. But obviously, Insomniac went the mile to make sure that everybody felt like complex characters. Norman himself is complex, although obviously he does have a lot of shades of that, fucking businessman, corporate type of deal. He very clearly has people he cares about, especially Harry, and his wife, who is actually deceased. As of the events of this game. So they do go out their way to kind of make sure that, even though, let's be honest, they really tilt him towards being the villain of the whole piece here, he does have his reasons.
And Norman Osborn, who isn't an asshole, isn't really a Norman Osborn, I'm gonna be honest with you. He was amazing in Spectacular Spider-Man, the cartoon, Willem Dafoe, amazing as both Norman Osborn and the Green Goblin. And those are two very distinct personalities, so it was important to play both. Well, I just love it, really. Who plays him in this game?
Let's go ahead and look him up. But I will be honest with you, I unironically like, Raimi Spider-Man, Green Goblin. I know he looks like a fucking Power Ranger, but I love that suit, actually. He is played by Mark Rolston, who I don't really know about off the top of my head. Let me pull up his article. He was in Aliens. Okay.
Aliens.
RoboCop 2, not the first one. He was in RoboCop 2, Lethal Weapon 2, lots of sequels. Scanner Cop, Saw 4, Saw 5, I'm sorry, Saw 6. He's in Matlock!
There you go.
Yeah, okay, he's been in TV, got it. But pretty much we know him as, Norman Osborn in Spider-Man for PS4.
There you go. Doesn't have a subtitle. I imagine the second one will just be called Spider-Man 2, which in no way complicates things.
Yeah, I think what they will try to do, Sony, they're probably going to try to have that Spider-Man 2 be the definitive Spider-Man 2 game people think of, as opposed to, the 2004 one.
It's going to be tricky, but more power to him, I guess. That one's done. That one's done. And the last one, like so. They get harder, trust me.
Beautiful.
You know what? I'll leave it there. It's not because the harder ones were kicking my ass or anything. I'm a big boy. Big science dick-solving puzzles.
Yeah, we have many, many things to do here.
Luckily, there are more than one type of puzzle in the lab, so... Let's kick things up a notch. Ba-ba-bam!
I do think it's odd that they are kind of struggling to the degree they are to develop prosthetics in this kind of world. Because really you would think it's not that too far out of the reach. I think really the main problem is the funding to do it. Like Norman, obviously, because he was walking in saying, well, I got a badass prosthetic for you. That apparently is okay. And considering what we see later, you know.
So like Helldragon says, working backwards can sometimes be the easiest way to do things, so that's what I'm going to do here. And then you give him one of these, then you give him one of these, then you do that, and now we can work on the voltage and whatnot.
Yeah.
Booyah. Alright, so we need 3 more.
Let's see if we can... I'm trying to look at your various voltages here.
Maybe if I replace this with a minus... No, don't want to do that. There we go.
Try to, I think what we can do is you can use this right column right here to push it out so you can avoid one of those, red bits.
No, you can't avoid any of them, mate.
Okay. There is an additional, +4 we can use.
There you go.
There we go, yeah.
We can puzzles. Not live, but we do it most of the time.
There. Whew.
Nice talking to you, Doc.
Just comes in, does 1 hour work. Why am I not making enough for my rent?
Why am I living in a box? At least I look like a comic book when I go outside.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to live in a comic book and avoid real responsibilities?
Ouch! Not so close to the new year, mate. You're ruining my good vibes. I need to change this suit because I feel too good.
Alright, yes, we need something grim and gritty. How about the one where he has literally nothing on?
Oh, goodbye ad revenue.
Now, this is actually a skin that comes up, and I mean that in the game sense, not the literal sense. There's a mission later on in the game where he gets delusional for a bit. When he gets himself cured of that, he is basically wearing just this. He gets the suit back on, but you can unlock this in case you really do want to run around in your underwear.
Yeah.
And another thing, actually, as you play the game, if you go into the menus, he actually has a Twitter feed, and it'll update as you go along, so it'll mention how Spider-Man was flying around without any pants on, things like that.
I didn't actually check that feed all that much. I was too busy enjoying the game, I have to say. So I'll try and look in when I can, but don't expect like a running feed.
Man, as long as they're here, it's like a part of my mom is too.
How do you feel about Harry in this game?
It's not gonna pay the bills, but
it does tie into these research stations in an interesting way, because it is, again, another way to earn tokens, things like that. But what's been going on with Harry does get developed over time as you play the game, and it does give us a lot of hints as to what the next game is going to be. The dialogue you actually get at the end, when you do clear all these research stations, they will change depending on where you are in the story, which I thought was a good touch. It's interesting that they went this angle with him, and I'm really interested to see where that's going to go in the sequel, considering what we do find out.
It's going to make me cry. Insomniac is going to pull another tragedy, is what they're going to do.
They're probably going to make us cry, yeah.
Like, they've already set it up so it can be like Norman in the 3rd game and so on.
mini clouds of smog.
I think he's going to be in the 2nd. With what we learned. I really think we're going to take him on, so to speak.
Oh god. Poo gas. Reaching critical levels.
Yeah, so basically in this mission you're swinging through farts, and you're analyzing the farts.
They're not all as blasé. Some actually have really cool like attributes to them, like dodging lightning bolts and shit. It's actually kind of rad.
The lightning bolt one gave me a lot of irritation, because with the way you have to do it, I did get hit a little bit more often than I cared to, and it kind of pissed me off. But again, you do have a lot of variety.
I just love how the city looks in this particular mission as well. They had to make like a filter and whatnot just for this, and I was a little bit too low for that, so let's see if I can catch it on the reburn.
I do think it's funny because, again, this game does make a lot of references to past Spider-Man media. And I think this one is actually supposed to reference the PS1 fog for the PS1 Spider-Man games, which, if that was the intent, I think that's hilarious.
Is that what that is? I didn't get that myself.
Well, I know in the PS1 game, again, to explain the PS1 fog and the fact that you were on top of the buildings, somebody lays down, I forgot who it is, I think it's Doc Ock, incidentally enough. They lay down, like, poison gas, so you couldn't fall down. You had to web swing, you know, over the tops of the buildings. And I think this may be a callback to that. I wouldn't be surprised, because like I said, they have made a lot of references to past Spider-Man media in this game.
So we got the camera equipped. You can take photographs while moving, which is amazing, by the way. It's just, it's nice.
Yeah, it's good. Again, and just make sure you don't have to stop your momentum while you're on the go.
Oh yeah.
Yep, best smokestack picture I ever took, yep.
Also the only one.
Just a fucking winner right there.
Right, now we're gonna tell the cars, the guys who did this single-handedly. It was only 2 cars, but man, they did a number on New York.
Gonna find these guys and give them a stern talking to.
In my undies, no less.
This is Fart Truck 1, standing by.
Great light on that.
Got it on my 3rd attempt, as with everything else in life.
Man, I can only wonder why they would let go of such an amazing photographer for the Daily Bugle.
Well, it was like he was going out to cover shots and scoops in his pants and whatnot, so either he was going to be fired, or he would have to be forced into quitting at this point.
Yeah, they don't really go into detail as to why he doesn't really work at the Daily Bugle. I'm guessing he just kind of left of his own accord when this opportunity with Doc Ock came up. I don't necessarily think he got fired, because let me tell you something. Spider-Man has done some stupid shit before, and that never got him fired from the Daily Bugle.
Nice. Okay, I can't wear this suit for a second longer. Going through poo gas.
Yeah, suit. Yeah, the birthday suit.
This is the Velocity suit. This is an Insomniac-inspired one. How do you feel about this?
I haven't really tried it. It's interesting. It kind of reminds me of, you know, when I was telling you, I think you have to turn on the power for that, though. Do you have it equipped? That's my question.
Well, let's just go into the menu. We have an enemy here to actually test it out on, so let's see, where is it?
It's gonna be that the run icon on the, there we go.
There we go. Oh, Jesus. You're not gonna like me now, you motherfucker!
Finally, boost gameplay. It's back.
What did you get out of the guard?
Wish I could ask him, but he's dead. Whoever made him release
This is so unfair.
I don't think you're doing damage.
Looking at the footage, the guard was in some kind of trance. And it might
better
have
be
been
more
lighting,
careful
but
with
it
my
looked like
adoring
his
That was
eyes
fun.
were glowing.
I mean, it's not a bad looking suit.
Okay, I'll see what I can get out of Shocker.
It's alright. It's not my favorite, but I mean, I can definitely see the appeal, especially with like the speed abilities.
Let me go ahead and turn it back to Web Blossom.
Yeah, may wanna do that.
So yeah, there's the modern suit, there is the Velocity suit. I forget what the 3rd suit they put in the game was. I think it's one of the spider armors.
The Resilient suit?
Ooh, that sounds cool.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, that's one of the ones you got with the DLC. As a whole, I'm not a super big fan of the original suits. I mean, they're alright, like I said, but they're not amazing to me.
Jameson was right.
What's the absolute worst suit in the game, in your opinion?
Let me... While you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and pull up like a
I
list.
might have just lost my job. The city, Norman actually.
But it's probably going to be, off the top of my immediate head, probably the homemade suit.
Really?
Let me look really quick. Give me a second. Well, I mean, look, I get it. It's supposed to be a shitty suit, but...
I'm not really a fan of the Fear itself suit myself, but I get why it's in there, you know.
Fear suit's kind of lame. Let me see. I'm just looking through it. Oh yeah, I forgot he has the damn... something else. Let me see. I'll probably go with... I can't trash on Scarlet Spider, even though I don't really like it.
No, you can't.
Hey, I'm no lawyer, but
Spirit Spider isn't a great suit.
Man, that's great for cutscenes, I have to say.
That's true, it is pretty funny. The wrestler suit ain't that great. I mean, I get it, but again, it's not that cool.
Well, the wrestler suit is the one from Ultimate, and not the one from the Raimi movie, so it's already a downgrade.
Fair enough. Taking another look.
It's fine, don't worry about it. I like the idea that now that we're wearing the Velocity suit, Peter actually was true to his word and, you know, made some upgrades because he loved how technology advanced Shocker's new outfit is.
That is pretty funny, yeah. I will say unabashedly, this boss fight gave me way more trouble than it should have. Admittedly, I was pretty stupid in how I approached this. You can't just treat him like a boss fight. He's a puzzle boss, and you have to do it accordingly.
Yeah, exactly. Do not, like, go in mashing buttons and whatnot, and please ignore me just mashing buttons.
You have to kind of flank shed him, and you have to make sure he's vulnerable to do that. Otherwise, he is going to knock you back and do damage. It's actually... Shocker's probably the boss that gave me the most trouble in this game.
Well, I mean, it's one you can't just rush and beat down, you know?
That's true, and the main game itself doesn't really have a lot of traditional boss fights, but, you know, yeah, I definitely have to say this is one that you can't just kind of fuck around with.
I've heard people say they don't care for the bosses in this game. Like, they're too easy and so on. I really enjoyed them.
It depends. I don't like the Shocker boss fight. It's not really that fun in my opinion. The best boss fight in the game, I'm not gonna count the last one, even though thematically it's fantastic. The best boss fight in the game is when you fight, and this is of course a minor spoiler, Electro and Vulture at the same time.
Ooh, yes.
That fight is great. No, it's fucking awesome. I love that fight actually. The rest of them, not so much.
Wait, did you say masks?
There you go. See, you're doing it way better than I did.
Thank you. I've had practice.
Fair enough, because when I was fighting him, it was my first time, and it didn't go well.
I've been here one more day. One day more! That's you see, Richie would have gotten that reference.
Well, I'm not Richie. Am I?
I panic. I panic a lot.
Yeah, in this one, in case it's not clear, you have to go ahead and hit the various pillars up here in order to bring down the Daily...
See, were you going to say the Daily Bugle?
I was going to say the Daily Bugle. I was going to say the Daily Planet, actually, but then I caught myself at the last moment.
I got stuck on the wall there.
Yeah, Shocker will just kind of go a little nuts here. So you have to orient yourself. It's only 2 supports. Now he's like shooting. Yeah, just focus on dodging.
Right, where's the last one? There you go. And the fight's done. Fight is done.
Sorry, Herman.
So you would think like his shock shield would work, but it doesn't.
Done yourself. Literally.
Well, I mean, you know, force times velocity and so on. I don't know science. I just play scientists in Let's Plays.
Yeah, this suit looks a lot better than I gave it credit for, especially in a pose like this.
It's very technological and Tron-y. I actually recorded a commentary for Tron Legacy or Richie the other day, so I'm in a bit of a neon sort of mood.
Very Tron-y, Tron-ish.
Tron-esque, if you will.
These demons are everywhere all of a sudden.
So who's going to pay for this? Oh god, here comes Jay Jonah. He's literally running down the street screaming, recording a live podcast. Because he's like 70 or some shit. Oh my god, it is the Sinister Six.
The Sinister?
This is the Sinister
The
Six.
Styling Six.
Oh, it's them. Yep, it's them. I really like the Sinister Six in Spectacular Spider-Man, actually.
I'm trying to remember, because I haven't watched a lot of that cartoon, but I do know they have their own iconic designs. I actually like Vulture's design in that show, because black and red, you don't normally see him wear that, but I like it.
No, you don't. No, you don't.